Greetings friends, Purple Hair Guy here. So I was invited to participate in the Terraria Creators Face-Off, where a bunch of Terraria's best creators got together, formed up teams, and we played a Battle Royale in Terraria. Now, before I show you how I won, we're going to have to start from the beginning. And fair warning, I only have the audio from my microphone, so, you know, my bad. Anyways, it should still be fine. So, just to start things off, I had a teammate, his name's Failure. I'll probably have a picture of him here on screen. And he streams, go check him out, he's pretty cool. But before getting into the actual event, we did scrims the day before. This was a perfect time for Failure and I to actually, learn our strats, because nobody had played this mod before, or at least most people hadn't. And after two horrible games where we got demolished by the Haboo, we found Psycho Knives and decided to do the Psycho Knife strat where we would sit in trees with squirrel hooks and randomly kill them.
Alright, it's fine. He's not a big deal.
Take your armor off?
Yeah, you become
you're
fully
done.
invisible.
You're done.
Wait, where's the other one? You were chasing somebody, right?
Let's do the.
He went up to the surface.
Let's throw some.
Oh my
Let's
god.
throw some.
But he's so weak. He's throwing bombs at it.
Get shit on! Get shit on!
I tabbed out by accident.
Oh, where are you invis right now?
I'm shitting my pants.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Down there.
Ah, the slime!
It's not working.
And we got to learn that a lot of playstyles aren't that great, but we only did 3 games, so, still more to learn. Now, a bit of background on this mod, it was created by Get Good Woe. It actually functions very similar to other battle royales like Fortnite or Apex. You start in the sky, you fall down, you loot, and then you murder. Now, what makes this playable in Terraria is all the weapons are kind of balanced around the same thing. There's really no one weapon set that can absolutely win you a game, but there's stuff that is a little bit stronger, stuff that's a little weaker. You just gotta find those out yourself. Luckily, Failure actually has 8,000 hours in Fortnite, and I played quite a bit of Apex. So we understood how to play battle royales. Of course, like cowards, that's the best way to play them. And even with all this experience, Failure and I were shaking. I had chills and everything. I was so nervous. Chippy, Chaos, all the big guys were in here, and we needed to kill him. Anyways, let's get into the games. These are so exciting. And right away, things went really badly. We didn't even drop near a mine shaft, and a mine shaft is the only way to get to loot that's worth having, since it has silver bars, and silver bars is how you make all your armor, and then that armor can be upgraded into biome-related stuff, and each biome has a different specialty. But since we didn't land near a mine shaft, no silver, no biome, oh boy. So we had to go find one, and when we got there was already someone in it. Out of options, we knew what we had to do. We had to run someone down. Now, when we did this, it was actually Sypho and McCrae, and this went really well. While they're cool people, not the best PvPers, we ended up killing them both, but one of them had the Demon Sickle, and the Demon Sickle proved to be one of the most viable weapons in the whole tournament, and that actually killed Failure. Yup, 1 dead right off the bat. First game. Of course, what do? Now, there's actually no way to respawn a teammate, so I had to play like a Giga Chad and keep looting and hiding. And after a bit more looting, somebody actually showed up, and I was pooping my pants at this point. I ran away as fast as I could, teleported out with a Surface Potion. Now, Surface Potion will actually teleport you all the way up to the sky layer, and then drop you down while negating fall damage. So, it's a quick and easy way to get out. It was my only chance, so I ripped it and got out of there as quickly as possible. Now, this went really well as I landed in the Crimson and had already gotten my silver armor. So, I actually just farmed a bit, got up to Crimson armor, which gives health regen, just like normal Crimson armor in the game. And then somebody showed up while I was hiding in a very dark hole, and I noped out again. And I landed on a completely random sky island. This was the craziest thing to ever happen. Now, this was my actual only ticket to survive in this game, since there was a bunch of people hunting. Pretty much most of the lobby was alive at this point, maybe around half. And I just decided to skybridge. I was like, I'm screwed. The ring's closing in on me. What do I have to do? So I skybridged. Haboo was casting the tournament. He was a spectator as a ghost, and he started following me. Now, from the day before, of course, with the Psycho Knife, he knew I was not really the worst player, but I'm not great at this game, I'm not gonna lie. And he was watching me skybridge, of course, probably his chat railing me, which I heard they were. And then I ran out of blocks and started having to use ropes, and apparently his chat was going ham and roasting me. But, you know, what was I supposed to do, man? It's all I had. I made my choice. I skybridged with the ropes, and it worked out. I didn't die right away. And after a lot of skybridging, like 1,200 blocks or so, I got to the center of the map, which is the last place the circle goes in. And with the final circle actually closing, I needed to make a move. So I had an idea. I was going to drop down, see what I could find. And I didn't have a hook at this point, remind you, so fall damage was very likely, but I knew what I had to do. Drop down. I saw a poor soul sitting there. So I surface potion back up, which, of course, negates fall damage, and dropped right on top of him. It was actually Diverman Sam, and I made quick work of him with the demon sight that I looted off of Sypho. And with him dead, I was actually, like, in a really good position right on top of the map. People knew I was up there, but they didn't really have a good way to push to me. Now, it was a 1v2 at this point, and of course, these hooligans thought they could get me. But with the demon scythe, I actually fended them off long enough, and they had to fall back to recover, because, you know, they didn't want to die. And before this point, I mentioned I didn't have a hook. Luckily, after I liberated Sam from life, I grabbed his hook, so finally I had one. And at this point, I had noticed that I had a Crimson Rod in my inventory, which spawns that little rainy blood cloud. I was like, oh my gosh, I have this. This is going to be one of my best weapons. I noticed that the last two were Mars and Shawnee do, so I thought I was totally boned. But Mars actually got way too bold. I shredded him. He took so much damage. I got hit maybe a few times, but sadly couldn't finish the kill. And then I got stuck in a hole. Absolutely stuck in a hole. And I didn't have the best equipment, of course. But I was like, okay, you know what? Mars is hurt. I gotta do what I gotta do. I rushed him down, and I insta-killed him. I used Sam's hook to do this. So Sam, thanks to you for giving me that hook. And now he's dead. This left me in a 1v1. I had some really good items. The Crimson Staff I actually used to section him off towards the end of the circle. And I used the Demon Scythe projectile that goes through walls to hold him back. And the ring was closing. The ring does a lot of damage. Once I knew he was screwed, had to rush him down, and I actually killed him. Yep, I won this match. I was in a solo since the beginning, and I won. We're freaking out. We were like, what? We didn't expect to win a single one of these. It was crazy. After the match, Abu actually came to our channel and interviewed us.
I do want to ask Purple Hair Guy that dived on from above to just secure that kill and secure the high ground. It was a decision. My chat was flaming you for that rope bridge for a while, but you know, you let him cook, I guess.
Chat, eat it, chat.
But I got back at his chat because they said I look stupid using the rope bridge, which I did, but you know, I had to do what I had to do. Anyways, of course, riding the high from our first game, we went on to our second one. And this time we landed in the jungle. Now, the jungle kind of sucks. It's magic focused, and the magic weapons are pretty mid. At this point, we didn't know that, but we took what we got. And someone actually showed up in our mine, so we had to dip. We jumped through one of the portals, which each portal has a corresponding colored portal that will teleport you to it, and we just randomly jumped through it, hoping we would get lucky here. And we actually did. We landed at another mine shaft. Now, I had game sense here, and I covered the portal in cobwebs, because cobwebs would actually stick to people, and they'd have to break them to get out of them. And that would give us a sound cue, and this actually paid off. Shortly after we got there, we heard cobwebs breaking, because the portals don't make noise. And we saw that they didn't have any gear, so we rushed them down. This was actually Sibin and Chaos. They're the only two builders in the tournament, and they're on the same team. They literally didn't stand a chance. We absolutely demolished them. I felt bad about it.
I know, imagine I would be fuming. Do you just teleport?
Yeah, take it.
I was just gonna see. No. Alright, taking it.
There's another
Oh my
one,
God.
a blue one, but I
There's-
feel like
we're getting chased. We're getting chased. We're getting chased. We're getting chased. Oh my God. All I had is a sword.
Oh, you can't
Oh,
use
man.
the surface push.
They died so quickly. And after a bit more looting, we headed to the surface because we wanted to murder more people, and poor Terrasteel found that out pretty quickly as we demolished him. Now, quick flex, I came in as an underdog in this tournament because, like, nobody knew me, and then since I won the first game by myself, people were pretty excited, and there was a bunch of ghosts following me. They wanted to see what would happen. So that was pretty sweet, and that just spurred my confidence, and I really, really wanted to kill people for the show, but we couldn't find anyone, so we just went into the underground desert. because fossils give crazy mobility, and the fossil set is pretty good. And they also have some of the best weapons, in my opinion at least. There's a spear that you can make. I think it's called the Storm Surge. It shoots out like a little lightning bolt. It's pretty powerful. It attacks pretty fast. And of course, we both got that because it's good. And we returned to the surface. We found CJ Deathbot standing there. He just had his partner Phantasm DC, and we dispatched him quickly. Now, he did put up a good fight, but fossil set actually came in handy here. The extra jump speed, the extra movement speed, I ran him down, and there was nothing he could do, poor guy. Then pretty much right after this, we started to get pincered by 2 teams, and we had to leave. We were literally right on top of a mine shaft. We dipped so fast. It was still really close. They were throwing stuff down as we ran. We got hit a bunch, but we made it out. And we started to block off a mine shaft so we wouldn't get chased. And stupidly, the wall came in from the other side. So we stuck ourselves in there and we surface potioned out. But of course, due to my crazy luck in these games, I landed right on top of a sky island, and this let us settle down for a second, and we gathered our stuff and jumped down. Now at this point on the final circle, there was only 5 people left, and we had a good position in a cavern underground. No one was going to come for us. And we waited until it started to close, surface potion back up, and we landed right on top of Get Good Woe's sky bridge. We like totally demolished him. Just kidding. We got stomped, but he had to leave because he was outnumbered 2-1. And this set us up nicely for the end zone. We literally just rained bombs down. In Chippy's perspective, it's literally just a hail of bombs. If I can get that, I'll put it in here. It looks amazing. And they actually killed Get Good Woe. But they were hurt because Get Good's actually good. And we swept the floor with Chippy and Adrian. They didn't stand a single chance. We absolutely swept the floor. But I can say I killed Chippy in a battle royale. That's pretty cool. And that was actually 2 games in a row. Now, to explain the rules a little bit, this event was made of 5 rounds. 4 of them were qualifier rounds, so the top team of each round would make it to the finals, and then the 5th round, of course, being the final round, which was the best of the best. And whoever won that would get the grand prize, which was $500 to a charity of their choice. And, you know, since we won twice, we actually got a team that we got to invite. Since technically we took up 2 spots and there needed to be 4, we got to invite somebody. Now, at this point, I had literally come out of nowhere in this tournament. People didn't know me before. I got the invite because of the Easy Speezy Terraria video, and that was it, I believe. Everybody thought I was like some sort of legend. I'm kind of mid at this game once again, but they all were like, oh my gosh, you're literally great. I think they're just trying to get on my good side. I did have the power to bring anybody I wanted into the finals. I was waiting for someone to prove their worthiness, and Diverman Sam, the man I killed in the first round, of course, offered me a custom item in thorium. Listen to this.
Hey, Purple,
What?
free item in thorium. Wink, wink.
Free reanimate thorium.
And not gonna lie, I was pretty tempted. Not 100%, but close. Everyone was ready for the 3rd game. We got started. We actually got a desert spawn this time, which we were super excited about because of the last game. The desert items are like amazing. We didn't find any loot in the entire mine shaft. We spent forever just trying to get gear, and then we actually ran into another team. Of course, it was Diverman Sam and his trusty sidekick, Uncle Danny. Once again, the developers of the Thorium mod. One of my favorite mods, IMO. And we actually got into a really, really good fight with that. Both were pretty geared up at this point, since it had been such a long time. And they actually killed us. Except, I killed Uncle Danny before it was too late. So, Diverman Sam was pretty screwed. And this, of course, hurt their chances for them to be invited to the final. But I don't hold grudges, so it was okay. And after being dead for a while, the final fight came around. It was actually a 1v1 in the final zone. And it was Terrasteel versus Necro. Now, the circle actually closed in far enough for Terrasteel to take enough damage to die to the storm pretty much from a straight out heal. It was intense, like straight up intense. Now, after these 3 games, people realized that going for early fights and playing on the surface was just a god-awful idea. The meta was starting to form. And it was the last round of the normal tournament. Everybody wanted to be in the finals, and this was the last chance they could get. But luckily, we actually found a mine shaft right away. It had nothing in it, like literally nothing. We got maybe 2 weapons and just a few silver. And of course, 2nd game in a row where we didn't get that good of loot. We needed to jump into a portal. It was like our only chance. We actually landed in a random desert cave, which of course, exciting. We love the desert. And we found an enchanted shrine room for the enchanted sword, which is crazy. I didn't even know that it could spawn. Now, it went pretty normal for the rest of the game. I got a jungle armor set. Once again, we didn't know it was bad at this point, and we both made a bunch of magic weapons, which also bad. This would end up being a huge mistake. As the jungle stuff, once again, bad. Bad, bad, bad. It's so unusably bad. Anyways, we made a sky bridge, of course, raining heck upon our enemies, and with the confidence of the last 2 games on our shoulders, thought our jungle weapons would carry us. We were so wrong. It ended up in a 2v2v1 where we came out on the bottom. We got absolutely smacked. Shawnee and Mars barely won this, but they made it, and that was the final spot. It went to Shawnee and Mars, Shawnee being the organizer of this tournament, of course. And just to reiterate, this meant that me and Failure, Necro and Bijou, and Shawnee and Mars were in the finals, and I could choose the final team to come with us. Now, Failure actually gave me full creative control over the decision, since I had one man clutch that first game, and I actually chose the Habu, but we weren't allowed to pick him. In scrims, he literally smacked everybody. He won 3 games in a row, so he was too good. Everyone was like, no, it's not happening. So I actually chose Diverman, Sam, and Uncle Danny, because they bribed me. That's pretty much the only reason. I was going to pick Shawnee and Mars because they also bribed me, but I couldn't say no to a thorium item. And Mars and Shawnee were already in there, so, you know, it worked. After a bit of waiting, we were on to the final match. This was for everything. The fame, if there is any, the glory, if you can call it that, and the money, which was, of course, going to charity, and that's a lovely thing to do. And on starting, we actually got a mine shaft that contained silver. Only enough for 1 set. Of course, after getting 1 set of armor, we were back on the suffering front because we got no other gear. And because we weren't in a biome, we couldn't make biome armor or biome weapons. So, for a final round, not a great start. And we knew plays had to be made, so we hopped in a portal, and this one actually ended up right next to Diverman, Sam, and Danny. And we did try to murder them, but our gear was really bad, and they kept us at bay. So, we had to dip through yet another portal, and before they could counterattack, we booby-trapped the other side, just in case, you know, they were brave and tried to come for us. And we ended up in an ice biome, which was really exciting, because ice armor is pretty good. However, we ran into another team, and they had way better stuff than us, so we were forced through yet another portal, and we were thinking with portals, not gonna lie. And we booby-trapped this one, of course, before starting to loot again, and, of course, with our luck, this portal was literally right next to the circle, and we had to surface potion out, and we landed in the Crimson. Now, we were quickly pushed out of the Crimson right into some corruption and a meteorite. So, while Failure looted the corruption, I grabbed meteorite stuff, and we finally had biome armor. Thank God. Well, we didn't have great weapons still, so we had to do what all Chads do, and we went to the top of the map to hide. After a bit of waiting, when the final circle arrived in the center, we had already set up kind of, but so had everybody else. And since the circle closes from the top in the final ring, we were forced to jump down onto a row of spike balls, and since you can't survive that, we had to go all the way down. This was not good, as someone had actually set the floor up to be a deadly pit trap. There was lava down there, man, it was brutal. And we were the first eliminated on the final round. It was so sad. But not all was lost. Diverman, Sam, and Danny had actually set up in the lower part of the map. Everyone else had picked the top. They set up right in the center. That means they were completely ignored by the 2 other teams fighting up top. And after an epic battle, they actually won using OP boulder staffs. Now, in the end, I didn't truly win, but the team I invited did. And that's the conclusion. I might not have actually won, but I got my own item in the thorium mod. And since I invited them, I'm going to count this as my win. Anyways, I already got the clickbait. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye.